Hi, Matt with eTrailer. If you have a 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 6 and you want to carry those really heavy e-bikes and you want something that's going to be super easy to store in your garage, then the Thule Epos bike rack is going to be a great option for you. So let's check it out. So the first thing I want to really look at is how it's fitting on the back of here. As you can see, we have plenty of space to sit here, even if you're on those really bumpy roads. If this is moving a whole lot, there's no way we're going to make contact with our vehicle. So I'm going to give you a little bit more peace of mind. And something that really stands out about this carrier is going to be its weight capacity at 75 pounds per bike. Now, if you have two bikes on here, that'll drop down to 70 pounds for each one of them for a max weight capacity of 140 pounds. But that's not going to reflect into our tilt-away at all. And really, that's pretty incredible to see. Now, what I like about that is we have a foot pedal to activate it, super easy to do. And when I do that, where that pivot point is at, it's kind of centered up. So this transition is really easy to do. I don't have to worry about struggling with it. And as you can see, this is pretty extreme. That's going to give you plenty of space to really stand in between your vehicle and your rack. That's good because if you got groceries, especially a lot of them, and you're struggling getting them in, you have plenty of room to do so. Or if you want to grab your helmet, your shoes, and get ready for your ride, you can do that too. And once you're done, you can close up your trunk and put this back up. And again, I'm really not struggling with this too much. I can do this with one hand, pretty easy. While this might not be a heavy e-bike, most racks, I can't do that. Now, if we want to take a closer look at how this is in place, we're going to take off our bike. So where I like to start is with the straps. We're going to have one per tire. And what's neat about these is they have these ratcheting devices on them. So if you want to get out any little bit of slack, it's really easy to do. But if you push against it, that's going to release this. And then you can tuck this behind your tire. Same thing for the other side. Ratcheting device, press on it, opens right up. It tucks really easy behind here. And then we're going to have one last one. And what's unique about this is this can attach to either your tire or your frame. If you want to go with your frame, get a better fit overall, you can do that. Or if you want to put it on your tire, if you have any alternative or carbon frame bikes or any bike with just a really nice paint job, you have that ability too. But now all I have to do is lift up on the bike, and then I can take it out for a ride. Now we can look at a few things with this carrier. So if we look at that center mass, we'll notice we also do have a ratcheting device on that as well. And we're also going to have a lock core on it. That lock core is just giving us extra security so no one can take your bikes. We also want to make sure we put this up too. So I like to push that strap back in here and just push on it and it ratchets back down. You can push it on either side. I like it a little more on this one though. Make sure you put these straps back up. You can put them either back in here or you have this other pocket that you don't have to worry about it really ratcheting in. But let's get a few measurements just to see how this is going to sit back here. So the first one I'm going to get is going to be our ground clearance. So if I go from the ground to the lowest point, which is going to be that foot pedal, that's going to be at 14 inches, which is actually kind of one of the perfect spots you want to be at because we're not going to be making any ground contact at that height. And lifting up those really heavy e-bikes won't be too much of a struggle. And if it is, you can buy a ramp separately for this to make that process a bit easier for you. And we can also get the distance how far it's sitting out. So going from our back bumper to the back of the carrier, this is going to sit at 30 inches. So that's not too bad. It's just something to keep an eye on if you're in those tight spots, like a parking spot or garage. Now, something that this rack doesn't have is a fold-up option, which a lot of ones do. It does have one, but this one isn't meant for when you're driving. It's meant for storage. Since there's nothing holding this into place, this is what it looks like though. And as you can imagine, if you're storing this in your garage, having a footprint like this isn't going to take up very much space at all. But like I was saying, it's not meant to drive like that. And honestly, having it down isn't too bad because we're not going to block a whole lot of things on the back of our vehicle. Now we are still going to partially obstruct our license plate. Now if you have a pretty tall vehicle behind you, they probably still could see it, but in most cases it's going to be blocked. And your backup camera won't be obstructed. Now of course it is going to pick this up as you're backing up. That's kind of a good thing, just so you don't back up into anything with this on there. But your taillights and back window won't be obstructed either. Now we're going to see how this installs. So how this works is we're going to have an 1.25" shank, and that's going to go into your 2-inch hitch receiver. The reason why it's able to do that is because we have this 2-inch sleeve adapter on it. So that means it can work with 2-inch receivers, or if you take that off, you can even work with 1.25" receivers. And then we're going to have this pin right here. This is a hook pin, and what I like about that is it's super easy to use. I can just pull on it, comes right out, and then pushes back in once I'm ready to use it again. I don't have to worry about lining this up every time. And if you look at the back of it, I'll bring up these arms just so it's out of our way. And right here, you'll notice we have this knob. This is going to be a tool-free install, so you can actually just turn this to tighten it down. Once you get a decent amount of resistance, you can just lift on it, pull it back around, and put it into the lock position. And that's nice that we do have this lock core integrated on it, just for that extra security so no one can take a rack. Now, in my opinion, I think this is a great option, especially since if you put it in this position, we can also grab that shank on the very back end of it, push a lever in, and it'll fold up into itself. And so you don't have to worry about tripping over that either. And taken out, it's a pretty light carrier with wheels, so if it's heavy for you, you can just roll it around. Now we do have a lot of other great e-bike options out there, but none of them are going to have this great storage capabilities like this one has. We do have plenty of options out there, but in my opinion, I think this one kind of stands out if you're looking for something like that. But that's just a look at the Thule Epos bike rack on the back of our 2023 Hyundai Ioniq 6. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching.